Ladies and gentlemen, today we are at Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality in the Eastern Cape, one of the most corrupt municipalities in South Africa. If you remember, Buffalo City is the biggest metro, one of the two that still belongs to the ANC. We're gonna unpack what exactly transpired at Parliament yesterday, the 11th of March 2026, 365 days later after they were invited by the Parliamentary Committee to come back. If you remember a year ago, there was an oversight visit where a lot of irregularities were picked up by the Parliamentary Committee. Then a year later, they are called to Parliament to answer about every wrong that's been picked up by that committee. Now yesterday, the mayor, Princess Faku, the municipal manager, Mr. Yawa, the head of finance, Ukyali, Yomelela Kyali, and the others were there answering to Parliament. If you know the committee, you will remember that the committee is the one that is responsible for making public entities account to government. Remember, we're dealing with people's taxpayers' money here, and they can't just eat and not answer. So lifikile ixesha lokubana bafike baye emaplangeni bayophendula izono zabo zoqusha imali karhulumente. Now, yesterday they were there, and i-answers bekunyanzelekile ubana zipope. I want to put it to you that I don't know how. Senjo, I don't know how. But yay! I was very impressed and surprised. I'm not right to say impressed, because you cannot be impressed by a PR spin-off as a person who is impartial like myself. However, I do need to put a disclaimer to the public that when it comes to Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality, I may be biased. That is public information, because the mayor there is somebody that I'm very fond of. I have been a young person. She has assisted me since her days around 2012 when she was at NYDA show. So I do want to put it out there that as much as I'm known as the principal reporter of the Eastern Cape to be impartial, I may be a little bit biased. Nindigate, call me out, because what is important is to report kanye lento yenzeka ephondweni. Now, welcome to Let's Unpack. Before we start talking, I want to embarrass the Buffalo City Municipality. In fact, maybe I should show you exactly. Ndifuna uyihlaza iBuffalo City. I want to embarrass the Buffalo City. And a lot of people are going to hate me even further for uthatha lo mntu ndizabeka kwi-spotlight again. Men be Kekana, the Eastern Cape Skanzonzo, that is, Men be. Every chance that you get, niyamthuka. Now, I want to give some insight kwenye into ningayiqapheliyo. 7 January 2026, I submitted an invoice at Buffalo City. Namhlanje it's the 12th of March. Ayikabhatalwa lo invoice. January 7th, 12th of March, 66 days. My invoice has not been paid by Buffalo City. I have borrowed, bensandiboleka i-40,000 kwenye utshomi yam. wathi eyami ke imali ayiphumi, yitshomi, it's a friend. Eyami imali ayiphumi ibuya inamathole. I have to pay it back i-55,000. Ndine-invoice, kwaloo invoice kuze ndikwazi uyenza bendiboleke imali kwakuyo. Soze nindive. For me to deliver the product or the service that I deliver to the municipality, I had to borrow money that comes with interest. Jonga ke, thina singabantu ababoleka ngo-30%. I borrowed, let's say, jonga ngoku ndiboleke inantsika i-40,000. Izawuzala i-15,000 ngenyanga. Now, it's 66 days later, the municipality has not paid me. Remember, for you to be contracted by the municipality, you are in competition, you are bidding, you are in competition. So i-profit oyifakayo ufakela into yokubana hayi uzufumana, because niba 108 abafaka for land, uzayiwina ngenxa yokubana kuqeshwa lo uchip, ku-awardwa lo uchip, which is you. Now, you were cheap, i-profit yakho is very small, they don't pay you. You had to deliver the service because ukhupha kuwe imali. We are small businesses, we don't have money. We borrow to be able to do business with the government. Siboleka imali angakubhatala umasipala, iyazala le ubuyibolekile. That's why I left that nonsense. I left that nonsense of doing business with the government, because I could see the reason why I lost my brows, Tinganamashia, it's because of stress. The government treated me, ndandileqwa mna ngabasebenzi ngemihlakulo neepeki, because I am not paying them. Bathi andibabhatali, phofu mna andibhatalwa ngumasipala. Uhambe imoto ingabi namaviri, uhambe ungabi napetrol, uthukwa nanguthathatha, uthukwa ngabasebenzi aba bakho, because once they don't come to work, uzawuterminate the contract. Imadoda, it is a mess, ibotyo yenyuva dam eyenzeka urhulumente we-ANC. Why ndingekabhatalwa? Why people like Omen B, a lot of black businesses, they do not get paid, yet a normal security, a normal cleaner that we hire there will not understand. Uzawubona ndihamba nge-GD6, uzawubona i-Raptor kamen B isogqiba athi akasibhatali, into ayaziyo kukuthenga imoto. So mna funeka ndithengise my assets to pay for people, kodwa I'm delivering a service to a government institution that is supposed to pay me. Emadoda yinyuva dem yento endingayaziyo lesikuyo. But today I want to talk. In fact, I should have contacted Mr. Songezo Zibi, the chairperson of that committee. Ndimxelele into yokubana kulaa committee bendicela uzungayishiyi into yokubana i-service providers azibhatalwa nguBuffalo City. They don't pay. And yesterday from that committee, I found out why. We have a CEO that is getting his full salary, but uhlele endlini uphangela ngokuthanda kwakhe, because ke une-injury or something, ubewe nemoto. So they can't hire they can't hire anyone else. They have to wait, Tina, we have to suffer. Laa mntu lo awufumana salary, suppliers are not, service providers of the municipality are not being paid. But today I said I want to talk about the corruption in the Buffalo City municipality. I want to talk about that one. In fact, let's listen to Princess Faku. Let's listen to the presentation that was delivered by the MM to Parliament, and let's get to unpack some of these irregularities that were picked up by both AG and some of the concerns by the Parliamentary Committee about BCM. We're going to have to talk about it. Let's have a look at what they say, or how they, let's have a look at how they responded to these very alarming, very concerning. If you akhumbula, ukhona izitafu phayana, umuntu ahambe ngenantsika, ahambe nge-Q8 ahambe. I covered that last year. And we're gonna get deep into that. Let's check out the proceedings in Parliament yesterday.
You will recall that we started this journey together last year, and we did say that we will check with one another periodically. That periodically has turned out to be a year, which I think is fine for us to check in with one another. So I just want to thank you, Executive Mayor, and your team for responding to our invitation to come to Parliament, and so that we can have this conversation and update one another on how far we have progressed on the matters that we dealt with last year, and also some of the matters that when Honorable Dr. Mkhize and his colleagues and other committees were in the Eastern Cape to deal with also matters of service delivery and some of the issues we will traverse here today. So we will give you, Executive Mayor, about, I would say about, let's say an hour, let us say that.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will just first do my opening remarks, and then I'll give to the City Manager to then do the presentation through you, Chairperson. Greetings to the Chairperson of SCOPA, Honorable Zebi, the Chairperson of COPTA, Honorable Mkhize, honorable members of SCOPA and COPTA, members of the Mayoral Committee that are present here today, City Manager and Heads of Directorate, the CEO of BCMDA and CFO. Good morning, honorable members, honorable chairpersons. Thank you for this opportunity to present this update on the current state of Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality with specific reference to the audit and the issues identified last year, Chair, in your visit. The briefing follows your oversight visit in Buffalo City in March 2025. We believe that your visit, Chair, enhance and promote good governance and accountability is a cornerstone of our democracy. We value this oversight forum as a vital platform for transparency and for sharing critical updates on our municipality on ongoing developments. I think, Chair, you have alluded that we receive an audit outcome, how far we have dealt with some issues currently, which that presentation will give that sight. Today's presentation, Honorable Chairpersons, is designed to provide the Standing Committee on Public Accounts on an honest picture of our institutional milestone and current operational state. Our report, Honorable Chairperson, will demonstrate that Buffalo City Municipality is gradually turning the corner through implementation of several measures which will reflect on the report. This work has also been assisted by the Ministry of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, who are supporting our city through Section 154. The municipal accounts is fully operational, Chair. Meetings are sitting, actively reporting to Council on a successful effort to reduce the balance of unauthorized, irregular, wasteful expenditure, working with the management of the municipality. Honorable members, the work is ongoing on the implementation of the trading reforms program to establish a ring-fenced business unit for electricity, water, and sanitation and solid waste. As we know, Chair, the country is faced with serious challenges with regards to water and sanitation. So we are happy to announce to say solid waste and electricity departments are already existing within the municipality. This reform by the National Treasury are for municipalities to ensure that these services are achieved sustainable. We believe that these changes will help improving operational efficiency and maintenance of infrastructure, whilst we are still experiencing some difficulties in other areas. Honorable members, whilst we are seeing the steady improve, the municipality is currently experiencing bulk water supply challenges, mainly due to bulk network infrastructure constraints and limited treatment capacity at our municipal water treatment plants and facilities operated by the Amatola Water Board. As you would know, Chairperson, 60% of our bulk water come from the Amatola Water Board. These pressures are particularly severe in peri-urban and rural areas where the population growth and migration have increased the demand on infrastructure originally designed for lower communal levels. To address this, Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality is working closely with the Department of Water and Sanitation, led by the Honorable Minister Peme Majodina and the Amatola Board on Bulk Water Infrastructure Planning. Regular joint planning meetings are sitting where we have established a technical team at the political level, which is shared by myself, Chairperson, which is dealing with the water challenges, priorities, key schemes aiming improving sustainable, reliable, and increasing bulk supply capacity. At the same time, the municipality and the water board are addressing illegal connection, including ESCOM and the high non-revenue water through measures such as installation of bulk water meters and pressure reducing valves to improve pressure management and reduce losses. Honorable Chairperson, as you would see across the country, Buffalo City municipality is also facing serious vandalism of wastewater treatment infrastructure, particularly pump station treatment plants located in isolated areas. In response, we are strengthening our security through measures such as high-strength concentrate walls and technology-based monitoring system to protect critical infrastructure. You would know, I'm not sure if you have seen, the police have also arrested 2 of our staff members through vandalism of municipal infrastructure. Through this coordinated intervention, the municipality is working to stabilize the current system, secure sustainable long-term water supply for our communities, and protection of the environment from sewage pollution. Honorable Chairperson, I just want to submit that this report to the Standing Committee of Public Accounts and COGTA in response to the statement indicating that the municipality was refusing to submit the Ernst & Young forensic report relating to the Mdantsane swimming pool. The municipality, Honorable Chair, respectfully submit that this we did receive the letter from your office, Chair. Whilst we received the letter from your office, I requested the accounting officer to speak to Ernst & Young so that the committee does receive the report. Whilst we were doing that, there were 2 letters that were written by the committee, both to Buffalo City Municipality and Ernst & Young, where we gave Ernst & Young consent to give the SCOPA the report. We further want to say, Chair, we are full in cooperation in working together with yourself, and Ernst & Young has informed us that the report was then submitted. The same process was followed through AGSA, where they requested the report for it to be given, and they followed the process which Buffalo City did give consent to that matter. Buffalo City remains committed to transparency, accountability, and cooperation with lawful oversight processes. The municipality will continue to engage constructively with SCOPA and other relevant authorities to ensure the matter relating to the Mdantsane swimming pool project are addressed. I must say, Chair, as we are sitting here, all those reports, the COVID-19, which the city manager will present, were presented in council. The Mdantsane were presented in council, and those reports are currently in the Financial Disciplinary Board, which the COVID-19, we have received a report in council and adopted it. Once we received that report, officials then interdicted the municipality that are implicated on those reports. On the Mdantsane swimming pool, we received a preliminary report and we are waiting for the final report on the Mdantsane swimming pool. But City Manager will therefore give a full presentation. If you can, then allow him to give a presentation.
Of course, I love her. Of course, I love her. That, look, she's pretty, I'm not here to market Princess Faku. Yes, she is the love of my life. Politically, I love her very much. She's very powerful. And with that opening, she owns the room. She owns the room. She is a girl boss that she is. But let's focus on the content of what she is delivering. Let's now listen to the municipal manager, Mr. Yawa, who will unpack the irregularities that were picked up by the Auditor General and some that were noted by the Parliamentary Committee.
Thank you very much, through you, Chair. First, greetings to the Honorable Chairperson of the committee and the Chairperson, Dr. Zulukize of COCTA, and greetings to all honorable members and our colleagues in the SIU. I would not go to the introduction of the presentation, Chair, because most of those aspects in the introduction have been covered through a presentation by the Executive Mayor. That's part of the catch-up with the time given. Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality has a sound political and administrative governance with a seamless administration and governance interface. The Municipal Council and its various committees meet regularly as required by law, ensuring that vital decisions, including budget and policy approvals, are finalized on schedule. The Council is currently looking at ways to streamline agendas to prioritize strategic and policy-driven issues, and the municipality has formally requested support from COCTA to help implement these efficiencies and improvements. This point is motivated by a need to ensure that Council is made to focus on its business and that it reduces the time it takes to consider matters and that they are not dragged into operational issues as opposed to strategic issues. The Municipal Public Accounts Committee is fully operational and actively reporting to Council on its successful efforts to reduce the balance of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, working with management of the municipality. So the oversight is maintained through active and functioning bodies, including the Audit Committee, Risk Committee, and the Financial Misconduct Disciplinary Board. The administrative leadership is fully established with the permanent city manager and all head of the directorate position filled by qualified incumbents who meet all the necessary competence requirement. But I must also add, this is with exception to the trading service reforms, HODs, which we have introduced as acting. These will be filled, the first trading service, which is electricity and energy, as well as water and sanitation by 1st of July through the milestone we have agreed with National Treasury on the reforms. Having already institutionalized performance management, the municipality is now upgrading these processes by rolling out the electronic performance management system. On the relationship between the municipality and AG South Africa, as part of our audit turnaround strategy, we recognize that the AG South Africa is a cornerstone of South African democracy. Our administration operates with full transparency, ensuring the AGSA has unfettered access to all financial and performance information throughout the audit period. As a municipality, we maintain an all-year-round collegial engagement with AGSA to identify potential risks, and where there are issues, we discuss these early. This does not mean that we don't have differences on certain issues, but we ensure that these are discussed honestly. While we have disputed the findings on the extent of irregular expenditure, our audit action plan takes the entire figure into account. Every finding from the previous audit cycle has been integrated into the audit action plan. We therefore demonstrate our respect for the AG's role through action. Where the AG identifies irregularities or fruitless and wasteful expenditure, we always commit to investigate and implement appropriate disciplinary measures. Focused efforts are underway to address the root causes of previous material findings through better internal controls. Our goal is clear and sustainable path towards a clean audit. We are therefore not happy with the qualified opinion we have received. The slide here shows the area of the audit qualification overall. The municipality has received a qualified audit opinion on asset management, which is PPE. And on PPE, there are 12 findings. And additional to that, we demonstrate that we're not only assigning this responsibility to titles, but to specific individuals to resolve them. And if you look at the picture, we also showing that already the municipality has resolved about the total of the findings. Maybe let me start that the other findings are on asset, budget and treasury, and all these departments, but the total of the findings is 181, of which 35 is 100% resolved. 12 of them is between 81 and 99, and 15 is between 61 and 80%. 31 of them is 41 and 60%, and 29 between 21 and 40. 0 to 20 is 51. We'll also show in the next slide as to what is our commitment to ensure that these are resolved within a specific timeline that we have agreed on. We have identified the root causes of the findings on qualification matters. On property, plant and equipment, as indicated that the findings are 12. One is the long-standing, slow-moving work in progress that has signs of impairment, which has not been assessed for impairment and resulted in limitation in the audit of the valuation of work in progress. The principles that we have taken as action issues is significance, the expert opinions, repairs and maintenance requirements, materiality and limitations. The municipality has reassessed the findings with the submissions made to the AG already. The explanation was provided to AG on the 16th of February. The submission made to AG was an assessment performed by GIB, which is a consulting company, assessment report and by GM corporate assets, which has been signed off, submitted with breakdown of costs. GIB's report analyzed, which is significant at 3%. Analysis detailed in the management response and the bills of quantity and tender document. The way forward is the impairment of 5 million. This requires changes in the roadmap process and impairment methodology. The timeframes we have agreed on is that this progress and timeframes depends on the agreement with AG, as we have indicated that these are already part of the current engagement with AG. And we hope that the engagement will be resolved soon so that the municipality can effect the changes. On the next root cause, which is land that has been classified incorrectly as other classes of infrastructure assets, and the action taken there on principle is classified per function rather than nature. The submission to AG to date is the policy has been submitted. City's infrastructure delivery and management system was also submitted. The way forward is the clarification with AG on categorization in terms of the public service infrastructure. 2, the specific categorization corrected on fees asset register. 3, verify the public service infrastructure categorization. Progress is 20% based on physical verification, and the timeframes we've set ourselves is 31st of March 2026 to complete the attention by the municipality in addressing the root cause. The other finding by AG is incorrect application of residual values to road assets resulting in depreciation differences. The principle there, or rather the explanation provided to AG was given on the 16th of February. The principle is alignment of guiding documents. Upon our assessment, this relate to earthworks versus land use, not difference in respect of GRAB and cities infrastructure delivery and management system called CIDMS. Residual values are accounted for in terms of GRAB and CIDMS and the property and approved policy. Documents are submitted to AG for auditing. Residual values are applied to a specific component of a road network, which is what is done for asset register. The policy has been submitted and the CIDMS has been submitted. The way forward is the alignment of the policy, and the timeframes, it's dependent on the agreement with AG. On the other finding, adequate evidence was not provided to support the restated opening balances of the revaluation reserves. This was also discussed with AG on the 16th of February 2026. Schedule of assets submitted, journals submitted, reconciliation was submitted, working paper was submitted, demonstration done, AFS aligning was done. The principle is that it's journals versus grouping and the integration of journals and manual journals. The way forward, and here we are awaiting the AG confirmation, which will take place, and to take them through the exercise by the municipality. So the progress on the timelines or timeframes will be dependent on the agreement with Auditor General. The next finding is misstatement from the prior year, not adequately addressed in the current year. This relates to limitation on verifying a pump station and motor vehicle for impairment assessment. There were no repeat findings. Pump station was verified and findings was resolved. Vehicle was impaired as per AGSA recommendation in 2024. However, AGSA changed the opinion in 2025. Revaluation findings were resolved after 9 months of discussion. The principle one accounting policy was used in 2024 in compliance with GRAB, residual useful life, which is RUL, and expected useful life, EUL, and the industry guidelines used correctly. The way forward is closer alignment during the technical session with AG to understand the key issues to be addressed. So this is what is going to be engaged with AG as well. On matters in progress, other findings, property, plant and equipment, which is WIP. The root cause is intangible asset recognized incorrectly as WIP. The remedial action is scrutinizing the work in progress register and identify all intangible assets within the register. This was done during the audit. Working submitted, however, the adjustment could not be allowed. So this aspect of the WIP is 100% resolved. AG will review it during the planning. So our timeline was there on the 31st of March. On property, plant and equipment infrastructure verification, the assets were recorded as single entry in the fixed asset register, creating limitations in verifying the existing of certain assets and in assessing valuation for all. The remedial actions there is confirmed through site inspection that the pump station have not been componentized. Compare the verified components with the BOQ invoices to ensure accuracy of components. Perform the componentized unbundling process if required and updated for the asset register. Review the asset register for the identification of other possible bulk asset where componentization is required, and ensure that the relevant asset component information is reflected in the technical asset register. This one is 90% resolved, Chair, and our target for 100% resolution is 31st of March 2026. Property, plant and equipment impairment, which was COF 26. The root cause was the differences in impairment calculation, which arose from incorrect input and the impairment of assets that should not have been impaired. The remedial action there is review the impairment methodology and update if required and ensure consistent application. 2, document the required consideration and conclusions for the asset verification and update the fixed register if required as per the process. ID possible additional components through interaction with the user department where indicators of possible impairment exist that will require a detailed documented assumption and conclusion if impairment is required. This one is also 90% resolved, and our target to resolve the entire finding is 31st of March. On other matters, it's property, plant and equipment. The root causes and was the impact on the current year as a result of limitation in the opening balances of PPE. The remedial action was remove the incorrect cost adjustment from current replacement cost calculation. This was done during the audit. Working submitted, however, the adjustment could not be allowed. So this matter is 100% completed, Chair. By our target was 15th of February. Property, plant and equipment, the root cause was the differences identified in the depreciation calculation. The remedial action there was the use the correct residual value in depreciation calculation. This was done during the audit, working submitted. However, the adjustment could not be allowed. This matter is as well 100% complete, Chair. The other finding is property, plant and equipment. The differences identified in the conditions of asset, physical verification and the impact, remaining useful life. The remedial action there is update the fixed asset register with correct verified conditions, review the asset register after each date to ensure that the correct inputs were uploaded after each update. This was done during the audit, working submitted, however, the adjustment could not be allowed. So the matter is 100% complete. Property, plant and equipment, which is the last one on the other findings. Inadequate evidence to support prior cost adjustment. Remove the actions required is to remove the incorrect cost adjustment from the current replacement cost calculations. This was done during the audit, working submitted. However, the adjustment could not be allowed. So the matter is 100% complete. The timelines we have set for ourselves in the main is between February and March. The plan is to ensure that when AG is coming for the planning and review of our work, all the information from the side of the municipality is complete. The next slide, BCMDA audit and action plan. The total of 25 findings, of which 17 is resolved and 8 is ongoing. The key challenges is weak contract management and non-compliance with SCM prescripts, poor project planning leading to delay, variation and cost escalations, inadequate review of the AFS and performance information, fruitless and wasteful expenditure from project management failures. The ongoing findings is Court Crescent, which is consultancy fees adjustment due to poor planning. It's water world, poor project planning and contract management, which are actually two. And the ongoing findings on performance, the previous one were on finance, is the AOP indicator misstatement, which is performance evidence reviews, the achievement not consistent with planned indicators, the court crescent significant project delays. Corrective actions is to strengthen contract and project management controls, investigation into irregular and fruitless and wasteful expenditure with recovery steps, legal action underway for disputed contract claims and guarantees, regular internal audit review of performance and compliance, improved AFS review process before submission to AGSA, ongoing monitoring of audit action plan with quarterly reporting. On material irregularities, the MIs that we have is significant number of property lease debtors not billed in line with the lease agreements, significant number of lease agreement outdated on a month-to-month basis or renewed on a month-to-month basis, incorrectly applied the escalation rate since inception of the lease agreement. Lease debtors are therefore being billed an amount for the rental that is significantly lower to what they should be billed. Excel is used to list register containing deficiencies, verification and validation of debtors to be undertaken. The market-related rental assessment is required, and the impact is financial loss. The status on the AGSA description is the slow response led to issuance of the determination letter by AGSA to the accounting officer notifying of the appropriate action to be taken. These matters are being assessed for the next steps. Follow-up process will continue through the year for all unresolved MIs. The actions undertaken by BCMA, we've reviewed all lease agreements as per the lease register. All lease rental agreements reviewed and the lease register has been updated. The current status as per the updated lease registers of October 2025 is a total population of 170, the total lease population of 173, valid lease contract is 91, 18 months, council resolution lease contract of 21, expired lease contract, which is equal to 61, evicted is 2, and termination is 1. Billing components, the following was undertaken, verified of ownership, availability of the lease agreement, all lease rental accounts are open and linked for billing purposes, accuracy of billing in accordance with the contract terms and conditions, execution of the related lease rental debtors adjustment, market related rentals, my apology. The appointed registered professional property valuer has since concluded 90 market-related valuations. Updated lease agreements were prepared and implementation is underway. In terms of the special lease, the municipality has implemented the council resolution as per the BCM 8825 resolution, which allows for a discount of 50% for the market-related rental. Automation of the lease register initiative is being led internally by the ICT department in partnership with the contracted services, namely AFLA, PCX, and Velometrics. Currently, the system is now 90% complete. However, it should be noted that there has been technical glitches on the system. ICT GIS services provider are currently working on resolving those issues. On irregularity, the municipality did not comply with Regulation 7.1 as evident from significant deficiencies identified in the performance management system. During 2019, to 2023-2024 audits. This was as a result of the municipality not preparing regular, accurate, and complete performance reports that are supported and evidenced by reliable information. There is an inability to verify calculation and processes behind performance targets, achievement of targets that are not fully supported with adequate evidence, incorrect and unreliable data that is used to plan, budget, monitor, and report on performance and actual service delivery. The impact, this is likely to cause harm to the BCM due to operations of the municipality, which is also the primary mandate of the municipality. The status of the description, a response to material irregularity issues issued was submitted to AGSA on the 4th of August. AG accepted the material irregularity response and was audited in the 2024-2025 financial year. Action undertaken by BCM to address performance management culture and buying of performance management system. Workshop was conducted to capacitate both political and administrative arm in August 2025. Establishment of performance management committee is in place. Internal control deficiencies, review of the existing certificate of assurance, declaration that all HOD have quality check performance information and performance report before being submitted to the next council structure. The SOP developed that align with IDP, SDPIP, and annual performance report and AFS. Review of the performance management system framework. Review of indicator SOP, technical indicator descriptions, and business processes. Appointment of the performance management system champion. Incorrect and inaccurate reporting of actual performance achieved. We have quality assured reporting by GMs and HODs prior the submission to PMS unit. We have developed a directorate SOP. We have strengthened directorate record keeping system, service provider appointed and being piloted in the Directorate for Infrastructure Services in monitoring and review. Adequate portfolio of evidence to substantiate actual performance. The PMS champs will be to strengthen capacity in developing portfolio of evidence. The MI on non-compliance with Section 28 of the NEMA, non-compliance with Section 19 of the National Water Act. The impact is public harm. AG description status. A minor intervention has been instituted by management. However, management has not addressed the main contributing factor, contributing towards pollution of the Nahun bulk water outflow, namely pollution stemming from pollution that continues along the Nahun bulk water outflow, wastewater pipeline, as confirmed by tested samples. Water quality monitoring samples submitted included sample exceeding total coliform, fecal coliforms, and E. coli levels above MPN 100 per milliliter. Within the Nahun River, Nompumelelo stormwater inflow, play water and picnic sites. The Nahun water material irregularity will therefore be referred for further recommendation. The slow response led to the issuance of the determination letter by AGSA to the accounting officer notifying of the appropriate action taken. The matters are being assessed for next step. Follow-up process will continue throughout the year for all unresolved MIs. Actions undertaken by BCM. The municipality appointed a firm of consulting engineers in 2022 to conduct detailed investigations on the cause of the frequent spillages along the Nahun bulk outfall sewer. The investigation confirmed that the capacity of the outfall sewer has been reached. The engineers have now been appointed to conduct detailed design for upgrading of the Nahun outfall sewer. The municipality is identifying land for establishment of a township for relocation of informal settlement in Nompumelelo. So far, the municipality has been unsuccessful in securing land for the relocation of the informal settlement. A dedicated water and sanitation task team has been established to address the MIs, or the specific MI with specific mandate to oversee the monitoring, coordination, and implementation of the approved action. The other MI, which is the pollution on Buffalo River, which is from Sonville wastewater treatment plant. The irregularity is the wastewater treatment plant is emitting untreated or not fully treated wastewater directly into the Buffalo River in contravention of the NEMA and Water Act. The impact is the harm to public, especially to the communities, including animals living next to the Buffalo River. On pollution on the Buffalo River through the Restin wastewater treatment works, the irregularity is emitting untreated or not fully treated wastewater treatment directly into the Buffalo River in contravention of the NEMA. The impact is harm to public and the people living next to the river. The Zwelicha, which is the last MI, is the water treatment is emitting untreated and fully and not fully treated wastewater directly to the Buffalo River in contravention of NEMA and Water Act, and the harm and the impact is harm to those people living and animals along the river. The status description for these MIs, a formal response was submitted to AGSA on the 3rd of February 2026. The RFI was subsequently issued requesting additional information relating to MI with submission deadline of the 19th of February 2026. Management submitted the request information on the 23rd of February 2026. However, the late submission was not accepted by AGSA. As the additional information was not considered during the review process, AGSA concluded that appropriate action had not been taken to address the material irregularities. The actions taken by the municipality has appointed a professional service provider to complete diversion of Shonville wastewater treatment plant to Zwelicha. In addition, the municipality has also appointed the service provider to conduct remedial measures of Shonville wastewater treatment plant, whilst the diversion pipeline is under implementation. For Restin, a contractor is currently on site conducting security improvement and repairs to restore pump station. Similarly, the contractor is appointed to provide security improvement to all buildings within the treatment plant. A new contractor to be appointed soon to construct a high-strength concrete wall around the treatment work prior to repairs of vandalism damages already approved for repairs through insurance claim. Similarly, a contractor is on site conducting repairs on the old Zwelicha wastewater treatment plant to ensure that the plant meets minimum compliance requirements while working for completion of the new plant is underway. A dedicated water and sanitation task team has been appointed to monitor the implementation. Findings on the Indigent subsidy, which is the next slide. The municipality provides poor households with support through its Indigent support policy. Customers who apply on time receive monthly free basic services from the municipality. Was the application thoroughly checked for compliance with conditions and requirements as set out in the approved policy before it's granted? There is sometimes inaccuracies with some of the customers, particularly those who do not report when their affordability status changes. In view of the challenge, the municipality has implemented the Indigent Management System, IMS, effectively from the 8th of September 2025. The IMS access information from the national database, such as Home Affairs, CIPC, TransUnion Credit Bureau, and Dig Registry. Due to this delay, the municipality came into agreement with AGSA, where the municipality would provide its indigent register to AGSA during the financial year, and then AGSA will run that data against all the external data resources that AG has open access to, and they provide the CATS data to the municipality. The municipality will then proceed to identify those indigent debtors that do not qualify. This agreement has been in place since 2021-2022 financial year. This is to prove that the finding is on the basis of our long-standing agreement aimed at addressing the challenges of our indigent consumers. The valid exceptions identified by AGSA in the audit of the 2024-2025 Indigent Register are because of this agreement. This process has been very successful as the number of valid exceptions has reduced drastically since the inception. On unauthorized irregular expenditure, the municipality is processing unauthorized irregular expenditure amounting to 643 million, which was incurred in the 2024-2025 financial year. This unauthorized expenditure was not as a result of negligence or misconduct by any personnel, but arose from technical nature of the accounting treatment involved. A special adjustment budget to authorize the unauthorized expenditure incurred in 2024-2025 financial year was tabled at council meeting of the 29th of January 2026 in line with section 28 of the MFMA and regulation 23.6b of the municipal budget and reporting regulations. On fruitless and wasteful expenditure.
Sorry, can I just ask that you say bullet one in simpler English to help those of us who are not accountants? So the municipality is processing unauthorized expenditure amounting to 643 million, which was incurred during the financial year in review. This was a result of the technical nature of the accounting treatment involved. Can you just give us color? What does that mean? What are you referring to there?
Good morning, Honorable Chair, Deputy Chair, and also Honorable Members, and also Executive Mayor, City Management Council. Mostly your unauthorized, it normally relates to your debt impairment at year end, where then it's a non-cash items, basically, that we normally deal with in terms of the debt impairment. Thank you.
No, sure. So, okay, so you've kind of have got us 40% of the way in. Mr. Pile?
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. All protocol observed. So, Buffalo City, at the end of the financial year, around about June, in preparation of the financial, will then reassess the debt book. And upon reassessing the debt book, they will then determine the debt impairment figure. Now, our debt book has been growing about R1 billion a year. As a result, there'll be the amount budgeted for 12 months before or 18 months before in our start of our processes, we are under budgeted for debt impairment. So as a result, when the actuals come through, it becomes overstated. So it exceeds the budget, which we haven't budgeted for. So we'll do a correction, and that correction is allowed by national to do an adjustment budget. So we have a adjustment budget for the 24-25 financial year. We will then do that adjustment budget in the January 2026. Similarly with depreciation. So what happened with depreciation was that we budget for depreciation. There is a journal that goes through every month, automated journal through the integrated system. And come end of the year, what happened during that particular year was you will note that during the course of your indulgence with us, we were sitting around about 5 billion in work in progress of assets.
If you ask me, I don't think we are interested in many of that. We're going to have to highlight some of the hottest moments in that committee sitting. Otherwise, if you ask me, I think it's a combination of strategists. I want to say it's a combination of thieves. I'm a sailor, that's what I want to say deep down. But I'm going to use a diplomatic language and say it's a combination of strategists there at BCM. And if, just between me and you undermined the lady at the helm, you might want to think again. The reputation that she's got, she is, I'm sorry to say, but it's something that is being said out there, and on this platform, as she is a puppet. I take offense that a woman in leadership would be called a puppet, but that's what leaders or comrades are saying. After watching her today, you might want to think again. Princess is not as, I'm not going to use dom. I'm not going to use that language. She is a ruthless. No, ruthless is also not qualifying. She's a hardcore leader. I don't know. She's giving a Winnie Mandela. I'm not just talking politically within the ANC, but I'm looking at how she's leading this particular delegation of Buffalo City at that parliament. I am basically here to praise her because I was very surprised. And it answers many of my questions in Dokbana. What qualifies her to be the mayor of a biggest municipality? What made her branch manager at NYTA? What made her member of parliament at that young age? Now I think we are getting those answers. No. Princess is something else. And we're going to get to the second installment of this episode. But for now, my keseki is these findings and how the Buffalo City has responded to them. But I know you and me are interested in finding out how the parliament handled that delivery. Lanbana, what questions were asked and what were the responses by the Buffalo City Metro delegation. We're going to get to that on the second part of this episode. You are able to watch for yourself on the internet, the Parliamentary channel, but for the sake of me, you might want to subscribe, subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. That would be great. Thank you so much.